Jefferson Webster here. With the recent release of PGA Tour 2K21, I decided to take a look at the past 40 years of golf video games. Yeah, I realize golf may not be in everybody's wheelhouse.
Golf requires goofy pants and a fat ass.
And no, it's not baseball, football, basketball, or hockey.
You know the problem with golf? It's a game for wussies. I mean, there's no damn contact there.
However, it's likely the only professional sport we're going to have consistently for the foreseeable future. With most video game systems offering a golf video game, there's a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started.
This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun.
As always, here come the caveats. I'll not be covering any non-traditional golf games. This includes mini golf games or golfing activities that do not take place on an actual course. While these might be great games, I am strictly focusing on 18 holes of outdoor glory. Also, I don't own all golf video games, so if I missed any great ones, feel free to leave some in the comments. The first golf video games ever made are what I consider the unplayable era of golf video games. Most of them are not very good. Let's start in 1980 with Golf on the Atari 2600. Yeah, it sucks. The early 80s also brought some golf arcade games. Birdie King 1, 2, and 3 came out in 1982, 83, and 84 respectively. And they had some weird advertisements. Sex sells, huh? This is just a little weird. Anyway, the game featured a trackball, which later led to arcade classics like Golden Tee. Bro, did you say Golden Tee? Yeah, we aren't there yet, college guy. Hold your horses. Crown's Golf came to arcades in 1984, but I think this was a Japanese-only release. It looks pretty underwhelming. Birdie Try, a Data East title, was released in 1988. It's fine, I guess. There isn't much to say here. If you're playing this one, you might want to have a beer in your hand, because these drives are slow. Wow. Well, either way, in the same year we got Golden Tee, so that's something. Yeah, bro. College guy, I promise we'll get to you in a minute. In the meantime, stay on the meeting and mute, and I'll let you know when we're ready. Okay, bro. Hey, weren't you supposed to do a video on that giant controller thing? I'm not ready for that one yet, guys. Let's get back to console games. Hey, how about an NES black box game? Golf for the NES. Yeah, I'll be honest, I never liked this game. Some people love this game. After all, it was the first golf NES game, and it was the first golf game to have a power bar. Nintendo created several variations of the game, with one even including female golfers.
Yeah, that's right.
But only in Japan.
Oh.
Hello? Who was that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like I've been Zoom bombed. You send a meeting invite out to 2 people and look what happens. Nintendo must have really liked golf on the NES because it pops up all over the place. It showed up in Animal Crossing on the GameCube as a playable game. And fun fact, the courses from the game appear in Wii Sports Golf on the Nintendo Wii. Additionally, the game made an appearance on the Nintendo Switch as a hidden game programmed into the firmware to honor the game's programmer, Satoru Iwata, who passed away in 2015. The game was unlockable by moving the Joy-Con controller similar to how Iwata would move his hands in Nintendo Direct presentations. Unfortunately, the game is no longer available, but still a nice tribute. Golf Story on the Nintendo Switch, which we'll talk about later, includes a variation of NES Golf called Golf, a playable game within that title. And if ROM hacks are in your wheelhouse and you like the band Kiss, then you're in luck. A fan made an Ace Frehley hack. Following the release of Golf on the NES, new expectations were set for golf video games. That being said, I've identified a few areas that are critical for a good golf video game. Number 1, presentation. This encompasses graphics, authentic courses, golfers, physics, you name it, just the overall feel of the game. Number 2 is the swing meter, how you contact and hit the ball. This is really important. Number 3 is aiming, how you determine where the ball is going to travel. Number 4 is pace.
Well, we're waiting.
And finally, number 5, difficulty.
All right, count them up. How many strokes?
Another early console game that received some fame is Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf for the NES. Pretty Amy? Super Mechs? Oh boy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, regardless of that nonsense, Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf for the NES is just a bad game. Wow, look at that hook. How bad is it? Well, it's so bad that The Simpsons had an episode making fun of it, and this parody led to the development of a homebrew NES game called Lee Carvello's Putt Challenge. You really can't get more meta than that. It's crazy. Great Golf on the Sega Master System. Not just a clever name, but also a mediocre golf game. Mean 18 for the Atari 7800. It's okay, the power meter's fair and it looks nice for the time. However, this game sells for $50 and up on eBay. Nope. Bandai Golf Challenge, Pebble Beach for the NES. This game came out in '88 and maybe it shouldn't have because it sucks. You get a weird superimposed golfer on the course, standard power meter, and there's just nothing great here. Ugh! Arnold Palmer Tournament Golf for the Sega Genesis. This game is decent and has an odd two-way power meter, but there's some cool secrets in this game. For instance, if you end up shooting a score of 100 strokes on a hole, which is crazy that a game would ever let you do that, and then enter the Konami code at the Game Over screen, the game lets you play Fantasy Zone. Pretty cool. Golf Grand Slam for the NES. This game was released in 1991 and leverages a dot timing meter on the golf ball for your shots. I'm not a fan. It's not very good. World Class Leaderboard Golf for the Sega Genesis. Well, they have St. Andrews on here, which is something, but the game isn't. NES Open Tournament Golf. Published by Nintendo in '91, this game is objectively better than Nintendo's first console game, Golf. The graphics are better, it plays better, and there are money-earning systems that create some replay value. Mario and Luigi are playable golfers, while Daisy and Peach are their caddies.
So, in the Mushroom Kingdom, women aren't allowed to golf?
Getting the impression you're a bit of a feminist.
You're a quick one. Nothing gets by you.
Well, here's a treat for you. Did you know that one of the first golf arcade games released in 1981 featured a female golfer?
Gee, thanks, 1981 developer.
It was called 18 Holes Pro Golf by Data East. Aside from golf and the Atari 2600, this is the worst golf game I've ever played. Wow, listen to that. It sounds like crickets having sex. Bro, who's that? She's hot. Golf Mania was released in Europe and Brazil on the Sega Master System in 1990. The gameplay is underwhelming to me, however this game does have Create a Golfer, a save feature, and experience points system, so that was pretty innovative for the time. Released on the NES in 1992, Greg Norman Power Golfer leverages the 4 score, which seems kind of pointless for a golf game. You can create your own 18-hole golf course, but that's all moot because this game isn't good. Sega World Tournament Golf for the Master System had a bird's eye view and 2 swing meters, one for power and the other for snap, whatever that is. Regardless of how well I used these meters, I felt like I had no control of where the ball was going. I mean, look at this, I'm hitting the ball all over the place. I'll pass on this one. The origins of Hal's Hole-in-One on the SNES came from a series in Japan. Ombo Zagati, I don't know, Hole-in-One Professional, whatever. With this one, what you see is what you get. An overhead view, directional aiming, and a swing meter. It's average at best.
Son of a bitch, Paul, why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
So, are you single?
Why don't you call me when you get some sleeves?
Maybe we could social distance together, you know?
Why don't you just go have another beer?
Done. I like her, bro. Yeah. Conceptually, robots playing golf seems awesome. However, someone was sniffing glue during development of this game. Believe it or not, this game has a plot. Humanoid robots are considered to be second-class citizens. A robot named Eagle is banned from participating in world professional golfing tournaments due to discrimination. Someone purchases Eagle and builds a golf course for him to practice on, so that sets the stage for robot versus human. So how's the game? Where do I begin? The power meter is terrible. When you hit the ball, it takes forever to land. I mean, this thing has hang time that's ridiculous. Worse than that, you have to wait on your opponent's shots, so you have to sit through those while those are in the air. If you own this game, just place it in the garbage. Chi-Chi's Pro Challenge Golf, or Top Pro 2 is known in Japan. This game has a bit of an arcade feel to it. The power meter is a little awkward and takes a bit to get used to, and there's some odd usage of the screen real estate. I mean, there's a lot of unused space here, but other than that, it's okay.
If you were a Transformer, you'd be Optimus Fine.
Of course, that's what you thought.
Hey, is this Hogwarts? Because you and I are headed somewhere magical. In my pants.
You're a pig.
In the words of the immortal A.C. Slater, well, oink oink, baby.
Power Golf on the TurboGrafx 16. Good pace, great music, graphics, power bar. Hey, look at that, a decent golf game. Oh, and the putting's good too. Naxit Open, another TurboGrafx 16 game. I like this one as well. The graphics are nice, the swing meter's fluid, and it plays well. Both games came out in 1989, and it's just too bad no one could afford to play these back in the day. Speaking of expensive consoles, Neo Geo released 3 golf games starting in the late 80s. All of these games look good and are great to pick up and put down. Country Club, the worst of the 3, can be forgiven based on the fact that it was released in 1988. Top Players Golf, released a few years later in 1990, is a nice little arcade game for the Neo Geo. Finally, Big Tournament Golf, also known as Neo Turf, released in 1996, is your quintessential Neo Geo game. The game looks great, it has a nice pace and presentation, the swing meters are fair, but don't expect many eagles in this game because it's pretty difficult at times. But overall, a great game. Hallelujah. With professional golf back in action, I have a special treat. Live via Zoom, retired PGA golfer Wilbur Harding. Hey, Wilbur.
What am I supposed to do?
Mr. Harding, put the earbuds in your ear.
Put this in my ear.
Put both in your ears.
Put both of them in my rear.
Both in your ears.
Huh. Hey there, Bimmy.
Hello, Mr. Harding. It's not Bimmy, it's Jefferson.
Huh? Okay, Jimmy.
Mr. Harding, what's your internet connection?
Eh? Still, he wants to know what the internet connection is.
Dial up.
What the hell is dial-up?
Wilbur, do your glasses have one lens in them?
Yes, Kenny, I have glasses, yes.
I said, do your glasses only have one lens in them?
Yes, I have glasses to see, Jimmy.
Looks like you put your Christmas tree up a little early this year.
Eh? Oh, that? Oh, we don't have time to piss around with that.
Wilbur, can you watch your language? We may have some children viewers.
Ha! Nobody's watching this shit.
That's a fair point.
Dagnabbit, Shelley! Golf was founded on profanity.
Bitch. Shit fire. I'm in the goddamn woods again. God.
Shit! Come on, Glenn! Come on! Get your head in the goddamn game!
I suppose you're right. Let's circle back with Wilbur in a bit and get back to some console games. Jack Nicklaus, the Golden Bear, the greatest golfer of all time. What about video games that he signed off on? They have to be amazing, right? If you've never played any of these games on a variety of consoles from the late 80s to early 90s, then let me save you some time. Here's what they're like. Perhaps these games were too ambitious for their time, but none of these games really worked. I see what they were trying to do. They were trying to port a PC golf experience onto a console, but it just doesn't work. These games look like shit, they load like shit, and most importantly, they play like shit.
That's right, Sammy. Now you're getting it.
In the late 80s, early 90s, several video game companies hit the market with their portable consoles, so of course they had to make golf games for those. A port of Golf landed on the Game Boy in 1989, and Mario is back golfing in an unofficial Mario game. The gameplay, graphics, features are all underwhelming, but if you love the original Golf on the NES and have a Game Boy, then this is in your wheelhouse. Following this title, we won't see Mario Golf again for a while. Super Golf was only released in Japan for the Game Gear, and that's probably a good thing. World-class leaderboard golf. Nope, I'll defer you to my previous comments on the Genesis version. In the winter of 1991, Awesome Golf was released exclusively for the Atari Lynx. There's nothing terribly good about this game, however critics seem to like it and Atari must have liked it as well as they began development of a spin-off for the Atari Jaguar called Jack Nicklaus Cyber Golf. Here are some screenshots. Atari Jaguar and Jack Nicklaus golf game. Conceptually that's like taking a dump when you just got out of the shower. Let's move on. Fred Couples Golf is a decent game for the Game Gear. It features an overhead view, basic power meter, pretty straightforward, the graphics are decent. A 32X version of the game was developed but never released. If anyone's ever tracked this down, drop a link in the comments. Sports Illustrated used to be a big deal in the 80s and 90s. It was primarily a magazine. Gen Z, you'll have to Google what a magazine is. To be honest, my brain just goes to Kate Upton when I hear Sports Illustrated.
Hey,
Huh? Oh, yeah. So Sports Illustrated had a game on the Game Boy. It's okay. The early PGA Tour golf games were ported to handhelds in the early 90s. They're okay. They're likely your best bet if you're desperate to have a portable golf game on the Game Boy or Game Gear.
Oh, Jerry, I sent you some stuff.
Okay, Wilbur, let me go check. Holy! Looks like the FedEx guy got drunk. Well, there's a lot to unpack there, so let's move on and talk a little bit about the PGA Tour franchise. PGA Tour Golf. These games are so hit and miss for me. There are things I love, such as tournament play with real updates. However, overall, some of the bad outweigh the good. The power meter was really nothing special, and they tried to get too fancy with putting, showing a wireframe topography of the putting green, but it isn't worth the wait in my opinion. The other thing that I didn't realize as a kid was the Sega Genesis version really smokes the SNES versions. Fortunately, the game evolved over various iterations, and EA was slowly starting to figure things out. By the time PGA 96 came out, the franchise was finally starting to become somewhat of a credible alternative to PC golf games at the time. We'll return to the franchise later, but let me give this TV golf club thing a try. This peripheral worked on the first PGA Golf Tour game on the SNES and Sega Genesis. The club functionality does what it is supposed to do. It registers my swing as it passes through the sensor. However, you really have to give it hell. I'm swinging pretty hard and I'm only hitting about 75% here.
Ha! Why don't you hit that with your purse?
I heard that, you walking sack of incontinence.
Eh?
This thing is a novelty at best. I wouldn't chase it down if I were you. Okay, college guy, you ready to talk about Golden Tee?
Yeah, bro.
Originally intended as a golf simulator, Golden Tee was repurposed as an arcade game and first released in 1989. It was a good game right from the jump. The trackball was really a big differentiator for this cabinet.
There are several different shots you can achieve using the trackball. But be careful. If you don't get it just right, you're gonna slice or hook, bro, Safina.
The first console port of the game was released on the PlayStation in 1996. Minus not having the trackball, it has the Golden Tee arcade feel. It's pretty good. Jakks Pacific released an AV input device in 2011. At first I was a bit skeptical, but after playing it a bit, it's pretty good. If you can find it for $10 or less, I say buy it. Alright, college guy, let's see your new toy.
Golden Tee on the arcade 1-up. This captures the arcade magic of 4 arcade Golden Tees in one cabinet, bro.
This cabinet offers games in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Bro, can I do this?
Alright, it's your world, college guy. Go ahead.
Positives are the gameplay, reading the wind, club selection, aim, and firing away on the trackball. Negatives, no online play, no drink holder. I need a drink holder, bro.
I think you have a drinking problem, college guy.
Nah. See, bro, I'm awesome at this. You suck.
Can you bend your bill?
What do you mean, bend my bill?
Your hat looks stupid.
Is this how you wear a hat?
Oh yeah, and you're supposed to leave the stickers on it?
Yeah, there's stickers on it, so what, bro?
Wow.
Are all of your sports teams the color of poop?
She's got jokes, J-Dubs.
A recent home deck has become available at Costco. It offers a trackball, built-in monitor, HDMI output, and 32 offline courses. For the low price of $2,000, are you in, college guy?
Bro, I had to eat ramen for like 3 months to buy this thing.
Let's keep things going with some Japanese golf games. During the first and second generation of gaming, we didn't get some of these games, and some are kind of weird. Battle Golf U, released in 1991 for Sega, features some weird courses and little Japanese girls battling each other on a golf course.
How progressive, Japan. Why don't you just have them mud wrestle or something?
Calm down, let me finish. It sucks.
Oh.
Super Naxxit Open is a strange entry for the Super Famicom. It has a weird flyover from a bat. I selected this onion character thing. Beyond that, it's your standard golf game. Nothing to write home about. Super Birdie Rush on the Super Famicom had laughable flyovers, but it had multiple tee locations and good graphics for the time, with some decent gameplay. But hey, it's okay. If you're a rich collector or an uber nerd, then you've played Laser Birdie Get in the Hole for the Super Famicom. Released in 1995, the game required a golf swing peripheral to play it. Given that 3,500 units were released in Japan, I only have screenshots of this one. The device uses motion sensing technology similar to the Nintendo Wii, which was innovative at the time. These things are crazy expensive on eBay. It's hard to say if the juice is worth the squeeze here. Mazace, developed by Jalico, was released on the Famicom in 1993. It has a nice fluid swing meter, a great interface. I actually like this. Dare I say this might be the best golf game for the NES? It's too bad it was never released for the NES.
Golf clap? Golf clap.
Alright, I'm gonna butcher this one. A Komato Aoko to Match Play Golf. Released on the Super Famicom in 1994. It looks good. What the? Why is Japan hoarding all the good golf games?
I got my Master's Cup. You can't see the son of a bitch.
What are you drinking there?
Don't worry about what's in it, you nosy prick.
Geez, alright then. I usually cover console games, but I'd be remiss if I didn't at least mention Microsoft Golf. If you purchased a PC in the 90s, odds are you've played this game, and I'm not saying it's great. However, many of the aspects such as physics, features, look, feel, sound, were all leveraged in future golf game titles. Well guys, this video is getting pretty damn long, so I suppose I should wrap it up. With that, let's have an Arnold Palmer. That's unsweet iced tea and a little lemonade. And if you're playing golf games, there's an indoor golf game where you have a little guy hitting a little ball inside your house. Seems interesting? But at this point, let's give it a shot.
You have the worst slice in the history of golf.
Let's try that again. That's it for now. Tune in to part 2 when we unpack more of Wilbur's stuff.
Some of this shit might actually work, I think there's something to this hat. The golf ball pendulum thing. Could be onto something here.
Oh, Jesus.
In the meantime, save lives and wear a mask. See you guys.
I am Carvalho. You have chosen a 3-wood. May I suggest a putter? 3-wood. Now enter the force of your swing. You have entered